This video will show you how to build a chicken coop in your backyard. Now, this is a revamp. It had already begun being built, but we came to help finish it off. Stay tuned to watch how it was done. Starting off, a 10-foot frame was already built for the wall and plywood was put up. So when we came in, all we had to do is build the other side, the frame for the other side of the wall. So we put the pieces in place for the frame for the wall. Now my mom wants to use a doghouse to use as a coop. At first I did not understand how are we going to use a doghouse for the coop. But here what we did, we began to build a frame to sit the doghouse on. The doghouse is not very big, so we did not need a really big frame to sit the doghouse on top of. Later in this video, I'll have Cedric the Urban Builder explain more in detail as to how this coop was built. But right now, come with us as we build the frames. Okay, it's gonna go inside. Like that. So tell me again, what's this measurement? 4x4.
No. The posts are 4x4. 4 inches by 4 inches by 2 feet. This frame is 2.5 by 3 5 inches.
Okay. All right, let's drill it.
Hold it.
All right, we have the frame built here. All we need is a layer of plywood and then the frame will be complete. We're gonna sit the doghouse on top of this frame. Screw it in.
I didn't take the proper measurements to cutting it. I'm just
placing
it on top of there and just going around until I get it close to it. Then we're gonna just drill. Because this is just to ensure the durability of the doghouse. However, the doghouse already has a platform at the bottom. Right. So we're just making sure if that doghouse platform is getting old, this is going to make sure, you know, nothing falls through. Hot dang.
The frame completed, and the plywood is on top, all drilled in, and we have the beam underneath. The bottom of the frame looks like this. We have a beam across, so just to ensure the sturdiness. This is what we're using for the stairs from the chicken coop on down to the ground.
Cut these into strips and drill the strips into the wood right here.
Now we have to screw this down for the steps.
Bring your shoe here. Sorry, stay still.
So far, the frame was built for the doghouse and stairs to come down. So this is day one, when we will be back with more to finish off the rest. We have an apple tree in here. We have to put a wall right here, and we have to fix this wall and put a door right there. It's coming together. We also have to put a roof at the top. So to be continued. Got some pine shavings and some alfalfa hay. Day two, we took all the plywood off from the walls and the hardware cloth. The roof was also built. The roof had a lot of trial and error, but Cedric will elaborate on that a little bit later in the video. We wanted to go with the angle roof so that when my mom walk in, she don't have to bend down. And we ended up using the fence for the second wall. So we only have one wall up, and then we're using the fence for the other side.
The truss didn't come out as planned, so I had to cut off one side to make it shorter so it can fit. Originally, the truss were even to this long piece right here, so I had to cut this side off because of the fence is part of the frame and wouldn't fit. So I cut those. It took me a while to figure it out. And then I took a piece of plywood. This is one sheet of plywood that I cut to fit the whole length of the chicken coop. This side of the roof is 29 inches. So I cut off a piece of that, fit it on there, then I cut the other two in half to be placed right there. That's one sheet of plywood, and I'm about to put on however many sheets I need on this side. After that, we're either gonna felt it or put some tin on top of that, and then put some hardware cloth around it and be done. I drilled the truss into the fence, but this was supposed to be like a barrier. And this is one of those things where I just kind of like use my own ingenuity behind it. Originally, the truss was supposed to be sitting on top of here, but I couldn't figure out how to do it the right way. And this is the best modified way I can think of.
So do you still need this part?
Hypothetically, yeah. Just as the case say if a screw come loose, it will still rest on this right here. This truss right here.
Okay, so we have a coop that's built with one wall using the fence.
Other than that, I just want to say, just be patient if you're building and you don't have any like specs to go off of. Just be patient and just trust you. It's gonna come out good. So that's the mindset I had because I was really frustrated during the process because I didn't know exactly how to do it. But just be patient. The thoughts will come and you'll figure it out.
Because you're actually revamping because
right. This is not my original idea.
So this part here was already built with this hardware cloth, but you came in making some adjustments, some arrangements, and this doghouse was already here, so you added the frame and stairs, put some wood there because of the mud, and yeah. And what's this?
That's just a support barrier for the
support barrier. This is also support.
That's how the truss is built. It's a beam in the middle. You have two legs on the truss, and you have a support beam in between the two legs of the truss. That's what you see going across right there.
All right, so let's get this part of the roof put on, this piece of plywood.
Putting on the roof, the plywood for the roof. Tomorrow morning we should be having the felt and the shingles to be placed on. We're going to put on the hardware cloth all the way around. Put on some frames on top of the hardware cloth to make it look a little nicer.
Almost complete. Almost finished. The plywood is now complete for the roofing. The felt is now on. What you see here is felt. Next, we'll put on the rest of the roof.
So, because this is a timely matter, folks, I had to use one of the 12-foot tin sheets and cut off a piece of it, but I had to use it as a capping ridge. I had to bend it. So what I did for this chicken coop basically is a revamp. Originally, in this section here, there was plyboard across the top, all the way across, and there was just that little bit of hardware cloth at the trim. There wasn't a roof yet. Only thing that was standing is this current frame. This right here, and this frame that goes all the way down. All there right there. That's the current frame. That was the existing frame, and this front part right here. What I did, based off the idea of Danae, I created a roof. I built some truss structures. Originally, I had built them the same length on both sides. So this right here is approximately about 48 inches, and I did it on the same as this. However, it wouldn't fit, so I had to do some trial and error cutting. And I cut the truss down on the left side a lot shorter so it can be posted against the frame of the fence. And then I put a border frame just in case something became unsecured, it wouldn't just totally fall. It can rest upon this frame that I built right there. Within the truss, I wanted to make sure that it was, because the structure is about 12 feet long, one plyboard wasn't gonna fit it. And I knew that the way I have my truss spaced out, that a piece of the plyboard may be lagging and have a wobble. So I put these border frames in to make sure there's no piece that's just caving in or loose after I plastered them on. Once I put on the plywood underneath the plastic tin here, I used some rolled out felt, stapled those down on both sides, and then I proceeded to cut the tin to size. On this side, like I said, it's about 48 feet, 5 feet. It's leaning over just a little bit. At this where we live locally, there wasn't any ridge capping. So what I did, I bought a seventh piece, an extra piece of tin, plastic sun tub, shall I call it, and I cut it to where it wouldn't be too wide, but just enough to narrow it up so it can replace. So it can be placed as a ridge cap on top in the middle right there. From there, I went on ahead and put on the hardware cloth. Home Depot had a great selection of hardware cloth. It was 4 feet tall, 5 feet long. And so this chicken coop already had some existing hardware cloth at the bottom, so I just left it there. And it worked out perfectly because the hardware cloth is 4 feet tall. So I went on ahead and brought it up as high as I could, and it dropped enough right over all the way to down here, the existing. So it's a perfect blend. I think I bought approximately about 5 of them. 4. I bought 4. So it's about 15 feet worth of hardware cloth. Once I put those on the original chicken coop, the first one I did, I left the hardware cloth exposed, and it caused a lot of people to get scratched, like my hand right there. So I started to put these accents against it, and the accents make it look way better. It just has a different look to it. It's a nice little elegant look towards it. Not completely finished. To finish up, we put accents on the front. This front frame, I'll put another one up here just to make it look more complete. And then to finish up, we're gonna put accents across the door to hide those exposed parts of the hardware cloth. Other than that, it just took a little time because I didn't have any specs. I just went off of intuition of God. I literally was praying out here, trying to figure it out. Especially with these trusses. This is my first time building any kind of roof structure. It's not totally finished yet, but so far that's what we have, folks.
Now we will finish the accents for the door and the front wall. We have the frame for the front. We have the locks and the handle. And now we have the very top piece finished with hardware cloth and the tin material that's on the roof as well. To make sure that the chicken coop is sealed, we put hardware cloth all around the edges, at the bottom of the coop, and along the top. So every open space at the top, we have hardware cloth. And there it is. The chicken coop is now complete. Of course, extra things can be added or taken away along the way, but the structure is here. This is our second time building a chicken coop. Only the second time, which means it can be done. You can build your chicken coop using the materials you have, and you may have to go out and buy more. But the point is, you can do it. Thanks for watching.